We will start off on our back, one of my favorite places to start. If you have a blanket, you could definitely put it under your head. Two options are always constructive rest with your feet to the floor and your knees bent, or you can also bring your legs and hips into extension, arms by your sides. Let your body settle into the mat. Begin to connect with your breath. And not necessarily changing your breath just yet, but simply observing how your breath is moving today. So scanning the physical layer, your outer layer, bringing to your awareness the skin that wraps around your entire body. Notice the temperature in your space. Notice where your skin meets your clothes. Notice where it touches the mat. Maybe even feel for the floor beside the mat. Really earthing and rooting down. And then go a little bit deeper, your muscles, your bones, your joints. Feel the settling of the body as you come into this still position. Notice the areas that need a little bit more love today, a little bit more relaxation, softening. And then notice the areas that need a little bit more strengthening and stability. Then check in with your energetic layer. What's your energy today? Are you feeling pumped, ready to go? Are you feeling a little tired, slow? And as always, we observe without judgment, just simply noticing, becoming aware. Notice how your breath is moving. In contrast to just moments ago, maybe it's a little bit slower, more expansive. Your headspace. Think about what you're thinking about. What thoughts are with you today? What thoughts are on repeat? And sink down to your heart space. What are you feeling? And not just one, maybe a few. Think about also outside of this, all these layers of ourselves, but also as you relate to the people around you, how is the quality of your relationships right now? Near and far. How is work going for you or school, especially during this season? Observe your relationship towards the earth and nature. Maybe your pet or your plants or walks, sunshine, swimming. How's your relationship with your community? How are you connecting with others? So as we observe all of these layers of self and all of these ways that we relate to the world around us, this is what encompasses our wellness. Today, the intention that I have for you in yoga, peace is shanti. In Hebrew, it is shalom. And in Greek, it's irene. As you think of peace, you might think of the absence of conflict. But I love the Hebrew interpretation of it, which means well-being, completeness, wholeness, harmony with God and others. So today, this practice is about being whole. Can you practice from a place of wholeness and completeness? Completely whole as you are. Thank you for showing up today as you are. And if today any of those layers are feeling off, any of those relationships to others or your calling or the world, nature, if anything is off, then you might not be feeling shalom. May this practice today be a time for you to really come to a place of peace and shanti, restoring those layers and being open to how you can restore any relationships. So I offer that intention for you, and maybe you take it on in the form of an affirmation. Mine this week has been, I am whole and complete as is. And if you'd like to ruminate on that right now, say it 3 times, either silently in the privacy of your mind, or since you're in the privacy of your home, say it out loud. I am whole and complete as is. I am whole and complete as is. I am whole and complete as is. With that in mind, let's take 3 breaths. Deep inhale, fill all the way up. Audible exhale out. Breathe in deeply. Exhale out completely. One more. And let it go. May this practice bring you comfort, clarity, peace, healing, and joy. And may you move and breathe and think and feel from a place of wholeness. Shalom. Big inhale. Stretch your arms up. Reach overhead. Exhale, bring your arms right back down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Breathing in and breathing out. If your legs are in extension, you can bring your feet to the ground into constructive rest, continuing to move your arms with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. So notice at first we're moving our arms up. We're not really taking any precaution on the rest of our body. We're just simply inviting more prana in by moving and breathing. And now start to add a little bit more intention and precision. So bring your arms to your sides and rest them on the ground. Draw the belly button down towards your spine and try to flatten out your lumbar a little bit. It's not going to totally flatten, but you should feel the lower back pressing into the earth. When you do that, the core is going to automatically activate. See if you can keep pressing in here, and now start to lift your arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If you're anything like me, by simply adding that action in my core, my arms are not going back as far, and that's okay. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 5 more. Really working your core and staying with your breath. And I invite you to simply breathe in and out of the nose, or those of you who have an Ujjayi practice, you can stimulate the back of the throat, constricting the breath to create some more heat. This one. And exhale, slowly release. Let go. Bring that natural arch back into the lower back. Taking a moment to enjoy that. And then slowly start to bring your knees into your chest. Go ahead and roll around and massage. Taking the knees in one direction. And then go the other way. And again, at first, just moving your body. Go in different directions. And then bring your feet back to the floor. Let's add that action again. Draw the belly button in. This time, bring to your awareness your pubic bone moving up towards your belly button. It's going to create the same action here. You should feel it in your core. Then from that place, holding it, start to lift your legs up. Instead of pulling your knees all the way into your chest, draw the knees away so your knees are stacked right over the hips. Then bring your shins so that they are parallel to the floor. Dorsiflex your feet. Your core is working really hard here as you continue to maintain your lower back pressing into the earth. Keeping that here, start to kiss your thighs together. Kiss the thighs, even kiss the ankles. Really draw everything in towards your midline. You're still breathing, you're working hard. Now start to lift your arms overhead. Breathing here, you're in a reclined chair pose. And what we're going to try to attempt to do is find the same action here when we're standing, using our core. Take another breath in and exhale. Hug the knees in, let go. Bring that natural arch into your lower back. Rock it side to side. Keep the right knee in. Interlace your fingers around the right shin. Spin the left leg high to the sky. And give your ankle some love. Roll your ankle around. Roll it the other way. Spread your toes. Then try to curl your toes in. Then pull the toes towards your shin. Just get all of the blood circulating. And then bend your knee and start to roll your left thigh around. Getting into your hip joint. Go the other way. Again, not doing anything extra. Right now, just enjoying and assessing and bringing some more flow. Then straighten your leg out, please, and start to now roll the whole leg around with your leg in extension. Again, your foot could just be kind of limp and just moving around. Go the other way. These circles can be as small or as big as you can handle or what feels good. And then bring your leg towards about, let's say you're looking at a clock and it's about 10 o'clock. So not up to the side at 9, not straight up to the sky, but around 10 o'clock. And just hold it there for a moment, breathe. Take a breath. And exhale, pull it in. Let's do the other side. Bring your hands to your left shin. And again, reach the right foot up. And give your right ankle and toes and foot some love. Circles. Flexing, pointing, spreading. And you're still breathing, staying connected with your breath. Just really getting in tune, looking at your foot, being intentional about the movement you're making and feeling it all. Then bend your knee and start to roll your thigh around. Notice the difference from one leg to the other. Mine are vastly different. Maybe you've never noticed before, and today you can be a little bit more open to the difference on your left leg and your right leg as it relates to your strength, your mobility. Straighten the leg and do the same thing. Remember to switch directions. You might notice clicking or cracking. Possibly discomfort. If there's ever a pinch or pain, then that's your body's way of telling you, stop, don't go any further. So please listen and honor that. Okay, and take your foot at about an angle now towards 2 o'clock. Breathe. You'll notice your left leg is just kind of chilling out to the side here. We're not adding very much action, but we're simply telling our body where we're going to go in a moment. So get ready. Stay with your breath. 2 more. And then bring it back to center and hug it in. Let's lift our forehead up towards the ceiling. See if you can lift your shoulders up around the spine, and then start to curve your neck by gazing at your knees. Breathe in, and then exhale, come down. Bring your feet to the floor, arms by your sides. Again, start to draw belly button down towards your spine. This time thinking about your tailbone. See if you can lengthen your tailbone towards the back of your knees. Think about where your tailbone is. And imagine a line, a rope pulling up towards the back of your knees. It's going to create that same action. You should feel your core engaged. From that place, start to lift your knees up. Again, knees over hips, shins parallel to the ground. Bring your feet together. Toes pull in, so you're dorsiflexing your feet. Kiss the thighs. Kiss everything in towards your midline. So your core is not just your abs. Your abs are a part of the core, but your core is also your legs. And that's what we're going to be working on today. So press, press, press there. When you're, take your hands to your pelvis and see if you can keep your pelvis steady. Start to take your left leg and straighten it up to the sky and point your toes. Everything's still working really hard. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to send your leg over towards 10 o'clock. Your hands might help to keep your pelvis stable and to keep cueing your core to be engaged, your abs, your legs, or start to send your arms overhead. Breathe. You might feel the shakes. I know I am, especially if you're really being intentional about all those actions. Imagine resistance here. Big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Bend the left knee and bring it back in towards the right. You're still working hard to keep that lower back pressing into the ground. Pull the toes towards you. Squeeze your thighs. You're engaging. From here, hands to your pelvis. Stabilize and start to straighten the right leg. Point the toes and send your leg over towards 2 o'clock. If you feel ready and stable, start to send your arms overhead. Breathe. Keep lengthening your tailbone up towards the back of your knees. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Exhale, bend the knee right back in. Whew. Roll it around. Let's go for a nice juicy stretch. Send your legs back out into your Shavasana and reach your arms overhead and go ahead and arch your lower back, totally stretching out here, pointing the toes, stretch out your abs. Big breath in and exhale, hug it in. So option 1, you can roll to a fetal position to come up. Option 2, you can take a couple of spinal rolls and then come all the way up. Come around onto your 4s. If you'd like to grab a blanket for some cushion, I know I'd like to do that. Please join me. Bring your toes together, your knees together. Kiss them together, nice and close, and start to send your hips back over your knees, forehead towards the ground. Inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, slowly roll back. Add some cat-cow to this. Inhale, come into your cow pose, lower the belly, draw the heart forward, kiss the shoulder blades, gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round the shoulders, round the spine, round the tailbone, and sit back. So move back and forth here, doing some cat-cow. Cow as you come up to table. Cat as you go back to child's pose. And I know it feels different because I'm having you kiss your thighs, but I want you to keep doing that. Keep everything in towards your midline. Breathing in. Breathing out. Again, you should be feeling your abs working as you use all of your core. You're kissing the thighs. 2 more. And then bring it back up. Inhale. Staying here. Your shoulders are right over your wrist. Tuck the left toes under so you're pressing the left toes into the ground. Send the right leg and reach it back. At first, stretch out your calf here. And again, just notice your body's tendencies here. I like the concept a lot in my yoga practice. The brain only knows contrast. So you kind of just notice, okay, what do I do at first? And then let's add some action to it. So bring it right back in. Tuck the right toes under, then press the right toes into the ground. Draw the belly button in, sending your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Take your right hand and tap your actual abs and notice if you can feel it activate. And then from there, keeping the stability in your pelvis, start to send your toes back, your right toes, so that you're extending your knee and hip. From there, start to lift the right leg so it's hovering, not too much off of the floor. It doesn't have to come all the way up in line with your hip. Drawing the belly in, keeping the pelvis stable. You should feel your hamstrings working here and your glutes. Take your left hand to your left glute and actually touch it. And engage your glute. So feel it activate. And then from here, breathe in. Slowly point your toes and start to send it out back at an angle off of your mat, hovering off of the ground. Breathe. Keep pressing away from the floor. Keep drawing the belly in. You should also feel your right glute working as well. Bring your awareness to your left knee and toes. Press it into the earth. You should feel the shakes. Breathe in. And then exhale, bring it back to center. Release your toes, come into a cow. Let everything hang, look forward. Exhale, round into a cat. And then bring it back to center. If you need a break on your wrist, you can actually come to your knuckles. I'm going to do that. Send the left leg back. Your right toes are tucked under the left toes. And at first, just be a little bit more fluid here. Stretching out your calf. My belly just splaying, sticking the tailbone up. And then bring it back in. Start to draw the tailbone down towards the back of your knees. Tailbone down towards the back of the knees. Take your left hand this time to touch your abs, see if they're active. And then when you're ready, your left toes are tucked under. You're going to start to slide them back. Slide, slide, slide them back. And then start to lift. And as you're lifting, you're keeping the stability of your pelvis. Breathe. Breathe in. Exhale, point to the left toes and slowly start to send it back at an angle off of your mat, hovering off of the ground. Press the right toes in, press the right knee in to the ground. How's your breath? Notice what's going on with your neck too. Are you letting your head hang? Can you reach to the crown of your head? If you practiced with me last week, we talked about axial elongation. Breathe one more inhale. Exhale, slowly bring it back into center. If your hands are in knuckles, spread them wide here. Tuck the toes under and push up and back into your first down dog. So at first, take your normal stance. Where do you normally stand? Pedal your legs out, shake it out, yes and no. Wiggle side to side. Do anything that feels organic. Anything that your body's calling you to do within this down dog shape. Get the cracks out. Then bring your toes together. Let's add more precision and intention, yes? Big toes together. Bend the knees and sit back so that your belly's actually touching your thighs. And you're pressing into your hands. Look forward at your hands. And then your belly, as it's touching your thighs, start to lengthen the lower back. Lengthen the lower back and you should feel your core activating again. Your thighs are kissing. Your legs and your abs are all working to activate your core. Keep pushing your hands into the ground. Kiss the thighs. Lengthen the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Big breath. And exhale, start to press back into your down dog with your feet very narrow. Breathe. As you're in your down dog, you're pressing through your hands, you're kissing the legs, you're feeling a different sensation than you normally do in your down dog, and that's challenging. Breathe one more inhale, and exhale. Relax, come back into a normal down dog stance. Let's inhale, roll forward to your high plank, lower the knees, first chaturanga, modified. Slowly bring it all the way down to your belly. Bring your hands out in front of you for Sphinx pose. Your shoulders are right over the elbows and your arms are parallel to each other. Press into your hands like you're trying to move away from your hands to kiss the shoulder blades and draw the scapula down. Pull through the back of the head and look forward. Your belly is hanging low as you start to send the tailbone towards the back of your heels. So you're protecting your lower back. And you're activating the upper back. Working the shoulders. You might even feel your arms working a lot. Take another breath. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your hands right where your elbows just were by your chest. Push your hands into the earth without actually lifting up yet. Push your hands into the earth like you're trying to come up from a push-up. Kiss the elbows in by your ribs. Shoulder blades draw down. Pull through the back of the head. Send the sacrum back as well. Start to push away from the ground. You're looking forward. Your cobra should feel way more intentional, precise, and intense. Lots of heat here. We're lying not on the lower back mobility, but on your upper body strength, on your back body. Take one more breath, and exhale, release. Whew. Push away from the floor, and come back into your tabletop. Thighs kiss, toes tuck under. Push up, and come into your narrow down dog. From your narrow down dog, we'll come into our narrow bear pose. So bend the knees. You're bringing them to a hover off of the ground this time, and still trying to get your belly towards your thighs. Look forward. Lift your right toes off of the ground. Start to straighten the right leg back, pointing your right toes. Are you drawing the belly button in? Engage your legs. Start to send the right leg back at an angle, like you're pointing towards, if your head was 12 and your tailbone was 6, you're pointing towards like 4 o'clock here. Push. Breathe. One more. And exhale, bring it back in. Let's go straight to the other side. Kiss everything in towards your midline. Push away from the floor. Start to point the left toes. Send the left leg back. Stretch it out. Stretch it back. Breathe in. Start to send your leg over towards about 7 o'clock. 7, 8. Breathe. Your belly's touching your thighs. Your right knee's hovering off of the ground. One more inhale. And exhale, bring it back into center. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Whew. Grab onto your elbows and sway side to side for your ragdoll. Feel the heat. Inhale, take a halfway lift, look forward. Fold forward as you exhale. Inhale, come into your chair. How you normally would. What do you naturally do when you come into your chair? So that your brain can know contrast, because you know what we're about to do here. We're going to have lots of heat, precision, and intention. Take another breath. Exhale, press through your legs and stand all the way up, arms by your sides. Catch up with your breath. Catch up with your heartbeat. Slow it all down. Maybe through that whole opening with this intention, this heat, this activation, this precision, you're able to be fully present and mindful. Getting out of the head space and getting more into your body. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. I know that's my medicine. Just get into the body a little bit more. Breathe and move. And then from that place, I remember that I am whole and complete as is. On your next breath in, look down at your feet. Toes are touching. Kiss your thighs. Send your tailbone down towards your heels, pubic bone up towards your belly button. You should start to feel your core already. Kiss your thighs towards each other. So it's your abs, your glutes, they're all working for you. Take your hands to your pelvis, and again, use your hands as a cue for stability. Start to bend the knees and come down into your chair pose, keeping your pelvis neutral. So keep sending the tailbone down towards the back of your knees, pubic bone up towards your belly button. Your lower back is lengthened. It's not overarching. Kiss, kiss, kiss. We'll start here first. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. And it's okay if your arms aren't right by your ears. Mine aren't, because I'm being extra intentional about what my lower back is doing, what my core is doing, my thighs, my glutes. How's your breath? We've been in this shape many times already. Take another breath in. Exhale, stand all the way up. Arms by your sides. Inhale, go straight into your chair pose, but see if you can match a little bit of that precision and intensity and heat. Okay, so inhale, sit into your chair. Exhale, take a dive and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step, walk, or hop your legs back. Plank to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Flip the toes back. Find your baby cobra. See if you can add a little bit more precision and heat and intention. Exhale, roll the toes under. Push away from the floor, down dog with narrow toes touching. Inhale, send the right leg high to the sky. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring your foot all the way in between your hands. Inhale, take your left knee, hover it right off of the ground, bending it, and slowly start to reach your arms up. Exhale, hold. So your lunge looks a little bit different because your left knee is bent and it's hovering right off of the ground. Breathe. Check in with what your core is doing. What are your legs doing? Can you firm your right glute, your left glute? Kiss your thighs towards each other. Draw belly button towards your spine. Take another inhale and exhale your hands down. Send it back. Down dog or vinyasa with me. Chaturanga. Baby cobra or high. Pressing your hands into the earth. Exhale, roll the toes under, down dog. Again, narrow stance, toes are kissing. Exhale. Inhale, your left leg lifts. Exhale, bring it all the way through. Knee to nose action as you draw it through. Take your right knee this time as you inhale, you're hovering it off of the ground. You kiss your thighs and you lift your arms up. If you need more stability, of course, you can go to a wider stance. You can always modify by dropping the knee to the ground. So you always know my classes modify to what your body needs, adapting the posture. How's your breath? Activate your core, legs, glutes, inner thighs, outer thighs, abs. Breathe. One more. Exhale, your hands come down. Step it back. Down dog or chaturanga. Cobra. This time I'm going into up dog. And exhale, down dog. So I'm going to give you 5 deep breaths here to rest in down dog. You choose your narrow stance, or maybe you go back to your wider stance. You get a little bit more lax about it. Or even come down into your child's pose. Breathe. If you're in child's pose, let's move back in down dog. From down dog, whatever one you chose. Step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Take a half lift, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Inhale to chair, so you can use a little bit more precision, heat, and tension. And exhale, stand all the way up, arms by your sides. So take your blanket, and I want you to first bring it to the right side of your mat. And walk your feet over to the right side of your mat. And if you don't have a blanket again, or floor that you can slide on, you can use socks, or you simply are gonna take your foot and hover it. So we're gonna do what we were doing earlier. Take an inhale, sit into your chair. Incorporating everything that we've been working on. Start to hover your right foot off of the ground, pressing your left foot into the ground. Send the right leg back and out. So you might have your right foot floating, or you're going to put your right toes onto your blanket. If you start to lunge into your left knee, sending the booty back so the knee can remain close to over the ankle, your blanket's going to slide. And then slide it back in so that you can come all the way to stand. Slowly, with control, slide your leg back. You're using your left glute on your standing leg. You're drawing the belly in. 5 more. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Bring it up. Woo. And your leg by your side. Go ahead and shake it out and dance it out. You can take your mat to the other side, or I'm going to simply just turn around. You choose. You can feel your heart rate's up. We're not moving fast. We're just using our strength, our muscles here. Slow and controlled movement often activates and increases our heart rate a lot more. All right, when you're ready, find your chair. Everything's working. Glutes, inner thighs, outer thighs, abs. Hands can be up. I'm going to bring them onto my pelvis because it reminds me and cues me to stabilize here. Put all of your weight into your right foot. Hover the left. Start to send your leg back. Straighten the leg, point your toes. Bring it back at an angle onto your blanket. Start to lunge into your right knee. Inhaling. As you exhale, you bring it back in and you go all the way up to stand. Inhale. And make sure you're really lunging at your hip crease versus your knee, okay? So look at your leg. Send the right booty back. Your right booty is working a lot here, so that the knee is not coming way over your toes. I want you to protect your knees. 5 more. Pause your breath. Last one. Come all the way up. Woo, release your blanket to your side. Come back to the center of your mat. Dance it out. Shake it out. Big inhale. Sweep your arms up. And exhale, take a dive. Hinge at your hip crease. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step walk or hop it back. Down dog or join me in a vinyasa. You choose. You can modify to your knees or full chaturanga. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. My husband's been getting my daughter to say kalabanga, so I feel like that's why I did that. Down dog, narrow or wide stance, you choose. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring it all the way through. Spin your back heel down for warrior 1. Train track stance is a wider stance, more support. I'm going to go for narrow because I'm really trying to work on my core here. Kiss the inner thighs. Right glute is active. Left glute is active. Warrior 1. Breathe. Lunging into your front knee. You're sending the right hip back as the left hip comes forward. Your arms are reaching up as you interlace the ribs towards each other, like there's a shoelace there and it's just tying them all together. Take a breath in.
As you exhale, release your arms, bring them to your waist, to your pelvis. Start to hover forward. Pivot to the ball of your back foot. Slide your left toes in and lift for your Virabhadrasana 3. Again, we're trying to remove the exaggerated arch of our lumbar here. So whatever cue worked for you to really draw the belly in and neutralize the pelvis. When you do that, you should feel this right glute on fire. If you don't, if I just let my belly hang, it's not working anymore. And now I'm relying on my lower back, and then it gives me problems later. So, work hard. Breathe. One more inhale. On your exhale, we're going to slowly bring the left knee towards our chest and stand all the way up for a one-legged mountain pose. Breathe in and exhale. Let it go and shake it out. Going for inhale, arms up and diving down, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step back to down dog or go through your chaturanga. Up dog or cobra and meet in down dog. To the other side. Cleansing breath first, inhale. Audible exhale. Take your left leg when you're ready, inhale high. Exhale, bring it through. Wide stance or narrow, you choose. Point the right big toe towards the right top corner of your mat. When you're stable, rise. And when I say when you're stable, just mostly are your feet rooted and grounded into the earth, because I feel not very stable. My legs are wobbly and shaking because I'm working hard right now. So that might be you too. Inhale your arms up. Breathe. We're going to be here for 5 breaths before we move towards warrior 3. Can you stay in your physical body? Add all those elements that we've been working on. Stay with your breath. All right, arms by your sides. Or onto your pelvis. Pivot to the ball of your back foot and hover forward. From here, before lifting, start to draw everything in to make sure you're neutral. Make sure you're working everything to lift up. Virabhadrasana 3. So your hands could be on your blocks, a wall or a chair. You come out, you come right back in. You don't have to be perfectly parallel to the ground. It could be higher. Just adapt this shape to what you can do to maintain a steady breath. My awareness is on my left glute and on my abs and my right hamstring. Strings. Couple more breaths. Take one more. Knee to belly, rise up. Whew, one-legged mountain, and let it go. Shake it out. Big breath. Sweep your arms up. Exhale. Take a dive. Inhale. Half lift. Exhale. Fold. Step walker. Hop it back. Go through your vinyasa. I'm going to start to take it down a notch, modifying my chaturanga. Little baby cobra. And let's meet into child's pose. Slow your breath down. We've made it through the bulk of the practice. We're going to move into some abs and inversions.
About this time, I like to be reminded of my intention. In the privacy of your mind, or even out loud, I am whole and complete as is. Paying attention to the imagery that comes up for you with that, or the layers of yourself, or the relationships where you really need to speak that affirmation over, or where you need to either take action, bringing restoration. On your next breath, come up to your tabletop. Well, we're gonna come down to our elbows. So you're on your forearms, give your wrists a break. Elbows are gonna be right below the shoulders and your arms are parallel. If your hands tend to cave in with this, you can take your block and you can make an L and a J with your thumb and your index finger, placing your hands on the ground. Some people do like to bring their pinkies down and actually hold the sides of the blocks. That's okay too. You can find whatever works for you. From here, start to walk your knees back, and lower your hips to the ground into your Sphinx pose. So we worked on this last week, Sphinx roll-ups, which I've been doing with one of my favorite teachers, Jason Crandall. So chin is slightly pulling in towards your throat as you pull through the back of your head. You're staring at your block or your hands. Start to hollow out your heart space, rounding the shoulder blades, pushing into your hands and your elbows. Start to round through the mid-back so your ribs are lifting up. Start to round through the lower back so your hips are lifting up. Your thighs are lifting up. You're almost coming into a cat pose on your elbows. You should feel everything working. One more breath in. And as you exhale, we're gonna come down one section at a time. Your thighs come down, your hips come down, your belly comes down, and your chest. Relax for a moment. Breathing in, breathing out, enjoying the contrast here. And then let's add heat and precision. So chin draws in, press through your elbows as you hollow the heart, round through the ribs, round through the lower back, tailbone down towards the back of the knees, thighs are up. Maybe you lift even your knees off the ground. Do what you can. You're still on the tops of your feet, so your toes are untucked. One more breath. You're rounding like a cat, and lower. One section at a time. Ooh, let go and ease back in. We're gonna do that 5 more times. You can do this. Slowly, breathing in. Articulate one section at a time. Start to lift. And lower. That's 5. 4 more. Stay with your breath. Do what you can. Lower. That's 4. 3. Round. That's 3. Last 2. Draw it in. Use your whole body here. Whole body's working. And lower. Bring it in. Last one. This time, tuck the toes and lift into your low forearm plank. Option to have knees on the ground. Rounding, sending the tailbone towards the back of your heels. Breathing
Walk your feet in, drawing the belly in. Walk, walk, walk. Press away from the ground. You're coming into your dolphin pose with forearms parallel. Look at your toes. They should be kissing. Kiss the thighs. Press the sit bones back. Lengthen through the lower back. Your whole body's working. Your whole body's in shalom. Whole body. When our whole body is working, that's when we restore our body. That's when we see our injuries heal. When we see the parts of us that need more strength get stronger. The parts of us that need more flexibility and mobility, they loosen up, they stretch out. You're working, keep breathing. Exhale, slowly release the knees and arms by your sides. Whew. Let go. Breathe. You've done dolphin before. I don't know about you, but I was working my whole body in that dolphin. Not just relying on my shoulder strength or my joints. Whole body. All right, y'all, that was it. Slowly come all the way up. If you'd like to get into a forearm stand or a headstand and use the wall, you're at your home, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we're gonna totally switch gears here and stretch it out, coming onto our backs. You can meet us there. Lowering down, move blocks if you have them. Whew, all the way. And at first, coming into your Shavasana, it's not quite time there, not time for that yet, but just letting your body settle and noticing how much it worked here. It's a little bit easier to find stillness when we do work that hard. We're going to come into one back bend. Bring your feet to the floor, back to constructive rest to set up for bridge pose. So option to come into a supported bridge by taking your block or bolster or couch cushion or pillow. Press into your heels and lift your booty so that you can rest your sacrum onto your prop. And you could take a passive approach to your bridge, still moving the shoulder heads, lifting the shoulder blades. So it should feel really nice to come into this back bend because it's countering everything we did. So the other option is to come into bridge without your block. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. Fingers are touching the heels, your toes are slightly parallel, or slightly pigeon-toed, but definitely parallel. Press into your heels and start to lift your hips up towards the ceiling or sky, sending your tailbone again towards the back of the knees. When you do that, you should feel the stretch in your hip flexors and even in your core, your abs a little bit. Notice the legs want to splay here. Bring the legs in towards each other. And then you start to tuck the shoulder blades in to create a tunnel and maybe interlace your fingers underneath your back. Pressing the elbows down, pressing to the back of the head. You're either in supported bridge or full bridge. Those of you who like all the heat that we've been doing and you want to add more, you're feeling it, start to take the left leg up as you kiss the right thigh in towards your midline. You might even take your leg out at an angle again, like we were doing. Bring it back to center and slowly release. Keep the hips lifted, switch your fingers so the other thumb is in front. Breathe in, press into your left heel and toe. Kiss the left thigh in and down and lift your right leg high. Maybe your right leg comes out at an angle. Whole body working. Whole body's in shalom. One more breath in. Back to center, slowly release. Let go, we're gonna let go of the hands, let go of the shoulder blades, and then one vertebrae at a time with control, drop down the hips. If you were on a block or prop, lift the hips and slide it from underneath you. Come into fallen bridge by bringing your feet wide and your knees cave in. Take your arms and spread them up at a Y. You can windshield wipe here. You don't have to be still. And bring your hands in, walk your legs in. Take your right leg up, figure 4 over the left thigh. Before coming up like we normally do, I want you to take your hands to your thighs and press your thighs away from your upper body. Tucking the tailbone under, I like to unscoop my lower back here and then press the thighs away. Creating that space in your hip joint, now start to lift your legs up towards you. Makes such a difference. Find your reclined single leg pigeon here. Take any variation that you want, even if you want to turn over, take the prone version. You can even straighten your back leg. That's what my body's asking me to do. Stretch out my hamstrings. So you're bringing your legs in towards you as you lengthen the lower back and keep the sacrum down. Often in these pull down parts of the practice, the mind starts to wind back up again. Can you challenge yourself, if you allow your mind to do so, to get curious? Are your thoughts coming from a place of wholeness and completeness? And if they're not, can you redirect them so they do? Any suffering or anguish that you're experiencing, where are you feeling lack, insecurity, brokenness? And how can you bring shalom back? Simply by thought, or maybe by action. Take another breath. Exhale, slowly release. Wiggle out. Keeping your feet on the ground, take your left leg up, figure 4. Oof. Remember, each side's different. Take your hands to your thighs again. Press your thighs away from you. Maybe re-scoop so that the lower back lengthens. When you have created space in your hip joints, start to bring your legs up. Take your variation here. You want to maintain a dorsiflexed left foot, the one that's crossed. My class on Sunday talked about sometimes, a lot of times, the hard way is the clear way.
So for me, I was experiencing some grief or suffering with a few relationships, and I decided to head them face on. Instead of avoiding conflict, going straight to it, being vulnerable, facing my truth. And then from there, it was so neat to be able to experience that feeling of shalom back into my whole body and being in my life. Going towards the hard conversations to bring back reconciliation. So maybe that's you today. Or maybe it's just in your body. Or maybe it's making more time for yourself. Maybe it's tapping into some creativity. Maybe let these last few moments be a time for you to reflect. One more breath. Exhale, release. Last pose here. You choose yogi's choice, happy baby, maybe a twist, maybe a shoulder stand. Squeeze into a tight ball. Last time, breathe in. And exhale, find your Shavasana. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of you to give back to your body for all this hard work and intention, precision, activation, heat. Let go completely. Get in tune with your breath. Inhale. Audible exhale. Relax your jaw, keeping your bottom lip slightly open. Bring your awareness to your eyelids with your eyes closed. Keep the eyelids soft. Bring your awareness to your eyebrows and your forehead. Lift them a little bit. And then relax them. Awareness to your ears. Let go. Awareness to your neck, your shoulders. Let go. Arms to lower arms to hands and fingers. Let go. Chest, upper back, mid back, ribs, lower back, belly. Let go. Glutes, hips, upper thighs, lower thighs, feet and toes. Let go. Without moving your body, simply bring your awareness to your skin that wraps around your entire body. Temperature in your room or outside. Where your skin meets your clothes. Where your skin touches the mat or the muscles, bones, and joints. To your breath. To your head space. Your heart space. Your overall perspective and outlook on life, relationships. And start to add some movement. Bring more prana in, big inhale. Maybe revisit that stretch that we did at the beginning, pointing the toes, arching the back. And exhale, hug it in. Roll to a fetal position. Bring your hands to the ground to push yourself up. Find a comfortable seat and bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for showing up as you are. Maybe continue to think and act and relate from a place of wholeness and completeness as is. Let's take a big breath in and out. Shalom.